Get ready. It's time. Christina, Catherine, Lisa, Amy, Lauren, and Danny. Welcome to the Cimorelli podcast.
Hey, I'm Christina.
I'm Catherine.
I'm Lisa.
I'm Amy.
I'm Lauren.
I'm Danny.
And we're Cimorelli.
And welcome back to...
The Cimorelli podcast.
That doesn't even work anymore.
Did our intro get broken?
You know what?
Stop.
Can I say every time we do the intro, it's, hey, I'm Christina, I'm Catherine, I'm Lisa, I'm Amy, I'm Lauren, I'm Danny. There's always a really long gap between Amy.
Guys, I think Amy's on another planet, like sampling the fine culture there.
Okay.
I don't know why
let's
there's
jump
a gap.
This one is on Patreon, so hey, Patreon.
Hey, Patreon.
Yo. I don't even know if I have to
You
say what
rock.
it is because they already know. You guys are the real ones. You already know what this is, so I don't need to tell you what this is or who we are because you've been supporting us. So you guys already know. Okay, so then I'm just going to jump in because you already know what's going
I'm at
on.
home right now.
Welcome, exclusive members of Patreon, where you get every other episode and you get so much more
No, where you get
content.
all
every
the episodes.
Every other episode that no one gets.
Right.
Oh,
you
You
get
guys
all the
get that,
episodes.
that elusive every other episode. You guys get it. So welcome to you guys. I mean, guys, give them some eye contact.
Welcome.
Thank them with your eye
Welcome,
contact.
welcome.
Thank you.
Thank
You guys-
You guys rock.
You're the reason for the season. Thank you for this.
Literally.
Keeping
Yeah.
the lights on at Cimorelli
So
headquarters.
today, you already know kind of what's happening, I assume. Okay, we're doing part 2 of the behind the scenes of our sisterhood, what's really like to be in our family. We teased a lot of this in episode 1, so you already know it's going to be crazy. And then today, for the Sister Spotlight, we are doing... Ching! Lauren.
Ooh.
Yay!
What is it, Lauren's take?
Lauren's take.
Can I explain something about that?
Lauren's
I don't know if
cake.
people understand.
Sure.
The idea of Lauren's take
Speaking.
was supposed to be that Lauren is part of it is like, oh, Lauren's more quiet and mysterious. You want to hear from her. But the other part is that Lauren's an oracle of wisdom. So we need people to ask questions to gain insight. That's what it was supposed
All
to
right,
be.
that's kind of later.
But
That's kind of
I
later.
can give a testimony to this. Okay.
Thanks, Kat.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Amazing. So let's jump into the spicy advice Q&A.
Question.
Spicy
Question.
advice question.
The
It's
question.
not Q&A.
All right.
It's just a question.
This one
I
is
love
from
annoying them.
Charlotte Stairs, one of our awesome patrons. Shout out to you, Charlotte. Also, I love your
Hey,
name.
Charlotte.
Charlotte's
Hey,
my
girl.
favorite name.
That's a cute name.
All right.
Hey, Charlotte, what's up?
Do you
What's up,
and this is
what's up?
such a relatable one, honestly. Do you guys have any advice on how to deal with always thinking you have to please others and in doing so, burning yourself out?
I can't relate to this, so I can't say anything.
I like to say that I recently,
Really?
this last weekend, I realized I've been struggling with this for a year.
I have too, actually, in a different way. You think like, oh, Christina's so blunt. She's such a leader. She's so great. She's so cool.
She's
doesn't
so
struggle.
rich. She's so famous. She has a
She's so
Bugatti.
beautiful. How would she struggle with this? But I'm
Totally struggle
But I'm
with this.
telling you, it's a different thing. It's like guilt. When you feel like people guilt you into things,
You
I
take
think
it on.
a lot of us have this where it's like, someone's like, can you do this? And you say, I don't know. And then they say, well, I don't have anyone else to help me, so I don't know how I'll do it. And then you're like,
Oh, mine's
yeah,
different.
I can do it. But you're like,
No, mine
I
is
don't want
that
to do this.
I feel like I owe my life to other people for some reason. This is so weird because you probably won't see this in me, where I'm like, my time doesn't belong to me or whatever. Like when I work crazy hours, whatever, I don't complain about it and I don't really say anything. I'm just like, I have to do this today. I don't okay. It's the complex where I lay there and say, the AC is set to 60 degrees and I won't get up and change it. Like I deserve this or something. I just have to
You're
sleep
like
in
you're
the
like
cold.
out of control.
that's
I won't
weird.
just say it.
Relate to that.
Yeah, it's
So
very
how-
weird.
How do we deal with this with realizing you don't have to please everyone all the time and there's more important things in the world? Okay, I'll start with boundaries. I'll jump with there. Okay, this helped me a lot. Boundaries, realizing where I end and where another person begins.
Book plug
Boundaries.
by Townsend and Cloud.
What?
Get
Yes.
that book. It's all about boundaries. If you don't know what we're
good.
talking
You
about,
need
get
to
the
read
book.
it. You need to read it. Okay, so that taught me like, oh, wait a minute. When people are like, look how you made me feel.
You're like, whoa.
They're telling you you are responsible for their emotions. That is not correct. They
Nope.
could say like, hey, you said something that was really hurtful. Okay, probably happened, well, maybe it happened. But when someone tries to make you responsible for their feelings, that's putting something in your responsibility that's not yours.
That's inappropriate.
So that is kind of the foundation, I think, of people pleasing is like you take things on that are not yours. Like, oh, I have to just because I have to make her happy. Like, I'm responsible for her happiness. No, you're not, right? I'm responsible for making sure that she has time for this thing. You're probably not, right? So I think you need to question, like, why am I doing this thing? I think I'm responsible for this thing that I'm not responsible for. That's what really helped me because I would feel guilty a lot by saying no to things like hang out with someone or something like that. And I'm like, I should really go. But I'm like, I'm really tired and I need sleep. So then I'm like, no, it's not my responsibility. I know that I need sleep. And I know that my number one responsibility is taking care of myself because even if you I hope, really care about serving others and doing the best you can in life. You can't do that if you're completely depleted and deteriorating. So taking care of yourself is the first thing that you have to do in order to serve others. So that's where I'm going to go with it. What else?
I have a quick twist on this where it's a weird thing where always, not always, but most time I think about what other people want. Not the way of like, oh, they want someone to come over, so I'll come over. Like I think I've realized I've been out of touch with what I want to do in my life, like how I want to spend my Saturday. Simple things like that where I'm like, and my boyfriend will ask me, "What do you want to do?" And I go,
this is a common female thing that there's memes
and I literally
about,
I have
don't
to say
relate to.
I'm gonna drive home and I'll call you in 20 minutes and tell you what I want because I literally can't tell. Or I'll be like, I was like, I want to cut off all my hair, and then I started to feel weird about it. I was like, wait, what? I don't, but I do, but I don't. And I was like, why do I want to? And I was like, and I was like, well, I don't want to look plain and boring. But then I was like, wait, that's a feeling of I don't want other people to think I'm plain and boring. But what do I feel like when I look at my hair? And I had to really look at it and say, oh, I've never had this length before. I actually like it. It's fun and new. But I can't worry about what other people will think. No one's even saying anything about that. I have to say, what do I want and not worry about pleasing people in a way of rebelling, like, oh, they want me, they will think I'm plain, so I have to cut it off and go against that. Does that make sense? I had to start checking in with myself all the time, being like, all the time, like, wait, what am I feeling? What do I want? And it's been a very weird weekend of doing that, and I'm like, I have been really out of touch, and I didn't realize that.
So you're saying getting back in touch with what you truly want.
And knowing that you deserve to do that, and it's okay.
Got it.
And, like, I talked to my boyfriend, and I was like, oh, I'm always trying to, like, make sure if you want to go somewhere, we're going to go there. But he's like, I don't want to go somewhere if you don't want to go there. And I was like, oh, yeah.
And that's how it should
like,
be.
Other people don't go around all day being like, I hope Amy will go with me to the roller rink. They're like, want to hang out? Like, let's do something we both want to do.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay, what else, people
All right,
pleasers?
I got something to add.
Thanks.
So this is a metaphor to open my statement. Okay, when we were younger, it'd be like, oh, Mom, the kitchen smells so bad. And then our mom would always say, find the source of the smell. Okay? I'm going somewhere. Trust me. So listen. So think about this. If you have a rotting pile of garbage in your kitchen, it's going to smell bad, and you can spray all the Febreze you want. You can open the windows. It will make it smell better, but that's a temporary fix to you have to get to the
winter's
root.
gonna come. You're gonna have to close the doors again.
Get to the root.
Oh, thank you. You got to get to the root. Do I just touch
you
it?
hold it.
It's a
Try
frying
to
pan.
touch
You
it.
got to get to the root of the problem.
Don't
Thank
think you can just spray Febreze on it.
I'll tell you my example, and then maybe you can relate, and that will help you with yours. I am such a people pleaser. I've struggled so much with boundaries, with doing too much for other people, with depleting myself and not taking care of myself. And through many years of therapy, journaling, reflection, reading psychology books, I finally came to the conclusion, probably even just in the last year, that my problem is control. I really want to be in control. I like to tell myself in the depths of my subconscious mind that I can control everything. So I think that if I'm always there for all my siblings, none of them will be sad or depressed. If I'm always there for my friends, then they won't abandon me. Like, it's all about me trying to control other people by being there for them constantly, and then I end up either sick, which happens all the time, or really, like, I just remember one time, like, completely breaking down in my driveway after, like, I was refereeing, like, 3 different fights in my family that day, and there was this horrible situation happening with a boy, and I just was like, I literally had the worst anxiety attack of my life, and I was in the driveway, and my dad was bringing to me yet another problem that was happening, and I just went, I can't do it anymore. And I just started like,
She probably
You do that
physically
to
said
Dad?
out loud.
yeah, and he was like, whoa. I think he kind of like ran like, he was like, this is too much for me. But I just remember walking up the driveway and I reminded myself of Lauren when she like rage cries. So I was like, and it was just this moment of self-awareness of like, whoa, I have a problem. So you got to get to the source of the smell. That's my advice for you.
What do you think
That's a good
Lisa's
tip.
source
Source of
was?
the smell.
I
think
know.
mine is
What do you think?
I'm curious about
Well, okay.
distinguishing the difference.
For me, I don't know what you describe your root as, but my root
She
is
said
kind of
control.
like mine is like you don't deserve to do what you
Yes.
want. You
Worthiness.
have
Not
hurt
allowed
people
to.
in your past, and you have been very selfish. So now
You just have
you're
to make
never
up
going to
for
think
it.
about yourself. Yeah, you have to pay
Is it
people
like
back.
Also,
yes,
yes. I feel
Like
it's like,
the-
you have to make other people happy, and it's not about what you want to do.
But that's the point. Is
Yeah,
because I
because
feel like
you
I
don't
don't
deserve
deserve that.
Okay, so I don't deserve it.
Okay.
If I control everything, I can keep.
Yeah.
I can.
Also,
Keep
one last
everyone
thought
safe
that
or
I
whatever.
forgot to say was a way you can know that you have a problem with control is if one person in your family or someone that you care about, something bad happens,
Says you have a
tells
problem
you-
with control.
No, something bad happens to one of your family members or someone you love, and you immediately think, I could have prevented this. If I would have been there, this wouldn't have happened. Nope, it's actually not your fault, okay? This is another person. Even though it is good to be there for people, sometimes your friendship or companionship could have softened the blow, but ultimately...
Soften the blow, talk
talk
of the
of the
bridge.
Okay. But ultimately, you are not in control or responsible for other people's
Gotcha.
mental health
Love
and
that.
well-being.
And I think yours is the more like stereotypical people pleasing thing, which is mine. I feel like mine slipped through the cracks all these times because I was like,
Yeah.
no, I don't do that. But mine is a weirder,
Well,
more
you don't even
subtle thing.
care.
Yeah, I'm like, no,
I
'cause
don't mind.
you think people pleaser does things for other people all the time, and I don't feel like I do that. But then I realized, oh, but I actually don't even know how to do things for myself because I know what I want to do.
Gotcha.
And I feel like you're more afraid of people getting mad at you.
Yeah.
You're
So you
kind of
don't
more like,
assert
"Meh."
yourself.
Yeah.
What
Can
was
I
the
say
original
mine?
question?
It
Oh,
was how do you
How to
deal
get over
with
people pleasing.
people
Okay.
pleasing and
Oh, okay.
so you burn out.
So
Listen,
we're
you're burning
identifying
out.
the people pleasing.
I definitely had this problem. I'm getting better at it in my older years. In
Good
my
for you.
20s now.
Oh,
But
that's
my
my 1 year being 20.
my one, not even a whole year being in my
Woo.
20s. My like root of people pleasing is that I think that the world will end if I tell someone something that like they don't want to hear. Like, okay, I can say like blunt things that are kind of like not that big of a deal, but if it's like someone really like wants to do something and I like really don't want to do it, like I think if I tell them that, then the world will end. But I had to realize that you can argue with people and resolve it. Just because there's an argument or a disagreement, that's not the end of it. That's not the end of the world. That's not the end of the relationship either. And I just didn't really realize that you could argue and resolve things. So I was like, oh, I'll just never do anything that's going to cause an argument. But actually, it is possible.
Okay.
Okay.
Last
You too?
thing. I have one thing of people pleasing which I didn't know that I did. I always thought people pleasing was just like, oh, you don't sleep because someone wants to hang out with you or whatever. Which some people do. Catherine does. But I cannot relate to that at all because I always put my needs first. But not in this way. I have this thing, especially with my family, where it's like if I bring somebody, whether it's my boyfriend or my friends or whatever, then I want them to think that they are perfect. Like my friends, anyone. And so I will try to alter reality and make it seem like they are something they're not in order to avoid the person who I'm bringing into my family's feelings being hurt. So that's also probably a control thing.
trying to protect.
But it's like a
Yeah.
protection thing where I'm like, oh my gosh, if someone in my family doesn't like this person, they are going to have a mental breakdown. They're going to hate themselves. They're going to leave me. They're going to run away. They're going to be so sad, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I would hide everyone's flaws and I would try not to talk about it because
This is
I would
common.
think that, I would think that if I told you guys, like, oh, this person did this or my friend did this
This
or
person is a
whatever.
thief.
Even that though, like I would hide really dramatic things
Like,
because
they didn't steal.
no, because I wanted them to appear as this like perfect person.
To protect
so
their
to protect their
feelings.
feelings.
I don't know why, but I keep
Okay.
thinking he protect, but he also attack.
Listen, which Lauren kind of helped me out with this recently because it was kind of like came to a head where I realized I was doing it a lot. But like I've been doing it my whole life, I didn't realize it.
I do
But
that too.
Lauren kind of pointed out, she's like, Danny, people are responsible for their own feelings.
Yeah.
And if someone doesn't like someone else, that's not your fault. And
It's a
you
problem
can't control
between
it.
those two people.
And
Yes.
they can
Not
handle it.
And they
is
can
what I'm
handle it
saying.
too.
Yes,
They're not like
yes.
some little baby you have to coddle or
Yeah.
whatever.
I have one of those too.
Which I see
So
everyone
true.
as
You gotta
that.
let it go.
Yeah, I
Let it
think-
go.
Maybe that reflects on myself. Maybe if someone doesn't like me, then I have a mental breakdown and panic and lose my mind.
Aw.
And so I think that
Okay.
other people are like
That makes sense.
That makes sense.
Do you have anything to add?
Yes. I think that I very, very, very much understand and completely agree with Kath on everything that she said because I do the same exact thing. But I think that
Control.
yes, but it's more of it's the same thing of like everything comes down to like not wanting people to leave me, and if I can't be the
Abandonment.
perfect support for them, then
They'll leave
They'll
you.
leave.
yes, and I think a lot of it is recreating old things where you like find people that you have to people please a lot around, people that aren't exactly stable, so you have to like prop them up a lot because that's what you're used to.
So you're like
Yeah.
creating the situation without
Yes.
knowing.
Yes, that's a really good point. There's a certain dynamic that happens all the time. People pleasers tend to be attracted to very high maintenance people that
Yeah.
always need to have things a certain way. I can think of certain of my friends.
And what I
They're
learned,
like, "Ugh, there wasn't a red carpet when I arrived. I'm so sorry. I'll go back and get the red carpet immediately. It's sweeping the floor.
yeah, and so I realized
That's a
that
good point.
I don't have a responsibility or an obligation to keep people safe all the time, and I can't do anything about it. And I realized that people can, no offense, take care of themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like this all of
thing
it
as me.
boils down to like having a healthy grip on what is
You're
your
responsible
job to take
for.
care of and what is somebody else's job to take care of. It's really just are you worrying about your own feelings or someone else's feelings?
And
And
also-
it's nice to be nice and not be like over the top rude because you're like, I don't have to protect anyone's feelings. You have to take it really
there's
far.
a balance.
But you don't want to just be like, I have to protect them. If they ever get hurt, they will die. Like people will get hurt and they will be
Especially
okay.
If you're dealing with an adult person. Like,
Yeah.
unless you're
Yeah.
dealing with like a 5-year-old, like, yeah, maybe you need to think about
Yeah.
that. But like
Yeah.
with adults, like we have to all be responsible for our own reactions and feelings.
Yeah. Also, this
Yeah.
is one last quick thought to just make your brain twist a little bit. Perhaps you may be focusing so much on other people's problems because you want to avoid your own.
Oh, that's
I'm
a good
just
one.
gonna leave
That's
that.
a good one.
Right
Do
there.
that.
It's a great
You should
distraction.
keep
because
this for the rest of the episode.
Because I'm not trying to accuse
supposed to
you.
hold it up.
I'm saying that I do this. I don't like thinking about my own problems. I think about other people's. So I'm
She's-
just gonna put that out there.
Wow.
She just
Perhaps.
gently hit you.
Can I just
with
say
the
real
frying pan of
quick?
truth.
Yeah, Catherine just grabbed the frying pan of truth because if you listened to last season, you would know that we have a frying pan in the studio with us, and every time someone says
So we can
something
cook
really
eggs.
truthful that maybe is like hitting someone over the head with a pan,
Yeah.
then we hold up the frying pan.
Like,
of
wake
truth.
up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Love that for us.
for that, when Lisa said something, I wanted to end it with a statement, and then we're gonna go into topic of conversation. The last statement I wanted to end this section with was I wanted to say, or maybe it was Lauren actually, about I think at the root of it also is that fear of conflict.
Yes.
So
Oh
that's
yeah,
what
me
I
too.
yeah.
Same.
Okay, that was you. So I want to say that something that I say to my husband, where he's like, I don't know how to trust people, whatever. How do I know they're not going to hurt me? And I'm like,
You don't.
they are not even you don't.
No,
They
yeah.
are
They
going
definitely
to
are.
hurt you. And even I was like, I'm going to hurt you for the rest of your life, and you're going to hurt me for the rest of your life. Not always intentional. Hopefully not very.
Probably not.
Hopefully not very. I was gonna say rarely, not very frequently intentional. But the people that you love are gonna hurt you for the rest of your life. But that's okay because we have forgiveness, and we can come to a resolution. We can talk things out.
Yeah.
But if we don't think we have that, then we're terrified of that.
Yeah.
But once you get through that, you realize, oh my gosh, I can just bring something up with a person, talk it over. We can like get on common ground, and then forgive and move on, and then our relationship is strengthened. So don't be scared of like, how do I know they're not gonna hurt me? They are gonna hurt you, but that's okay. Don't be scared of that.
Well, yeah, I was gonna point out that a lot of times when you work through the conflict and you talk something out, you end up getting even closer if you're
You
able
do.
to
Yes,
understand each
Exactly.
other and
That's
apologize.
So don't fear it, or
Yeah.
you could be like stopping yourself from getting in a close
Yeah.
relationship.
Yeah.
Because
All
of
right.
course everyone's gonna love you if you always agree with them, but that's not who you
They're not really
are.
gonna
Not
love
really.
you.
That was great. We have a lot
No, that was
on,
really
on
good.
that.
Yeah.
So if you guys have more on that you want to hear, then I think you can leave it in like
Comments.
the juicy question thing when Kath asks you.
Spicy
so that,
advice question.
So that could be the next. So that could be the next spicy advice Q&A.
Question.
All right.
Guys, we just talked about that for 20
It
minutes.
is now part 2
Part
of
2.
the truth about our sisterhood.
What it's really like in our family.
In today's topic of conversation, let's jump into
Dun,
part
dun,
2
dun.
of Sister Fights, starting with Christina mocking Amy.
I hate this.
Okay,
It's not that bad.
I like to mock people, okay? I'm not saying like in a rude
mock
way.
or imitate?
What?
It's just
It used
No,
to be
it's
in a
mock.
different way.
It's mom.
no, it's
You
been
mean,
the
what
same
about the
forever. I
banana
never
suit
stopped.
thing?
Wait, but okay. From my
I
perspective
love to do
on
people's
this,
voices.
was you got in this phase where it was like, I mean, you always like imitate people sometimes, whatever. But you got in this phase where like almost everything anyone said, you would like
I'm
like,
repeat
blah,
it
blah,
back
blah.
in like a mocking
Someone would be
tone.
like, "Hey, I'm gonna get some water," and she'd be like, "Hey, I'm gonna get some water."
I like doing
She'd
it.
say it in
wait,
this
wait.
weird way.
I
you
like
do it,
doing it
please?
when people say things and their voice is interesting. That's why I like to do it. Like
Is
our
it a
friend,
tick?
our friend Hillary, who had a really interesting voice. No, I just told you exactly what it was. Our friend Hillary had a really interesting voice, and she'd be like, blah, blah, blah. So I love to imitate it. We hang out with these 2 little girls. Don't say their name. These 2 little girls. And one of them, her voice is so fun. No, both of them are. She's like, excuse me, wait, which one am I doing? She's like, I'm trying to get some water. And I had to imitate her. And then the other one's like, hey, can you, she has like a lower, like, Eris, hey, can you pass me that? And I like have to imitate it every time because it's so funny.
I think that is a
So
thing,
I was
Christina.
doing it
Can't
all
Well,
the time.
Can I say, if it ever was in like a more mean way or like a whatever seems derogatory way, it came from our dad because our dad used to do that growing up to
does.
Amy and I,
Oh,
but especially
gosh.
me. And so I think that you learned that from him because he would imitate you
It's
all the time.
so funny to get a reaction. So I don't even remember. It's weird because I don't remember imitating Amy. I don't remember her saying
It was
anything that
everyone.
interested.
You said
But
it
was
to
especially
everyone.
Amy and
But
me
she-
a lot.
And
She
me,
took
you
it.
always
I
imitate
don't
me.
remember it. I love a good imitation though. I gotta say.
I took it very personally.
So this is one of our fights. So go.
Here's the thing. I have a giant issue with being made fun of. Okay.
I'm not
And-
fun to be made of.
Deep
Yes, I'm
issue.
not fun to be made
I
of.
don't like to be teased.
And that's what Lauren said. So I'm not fun to be made of.
So what happened?
Christina kept making fun of me and mocking me. So then one day,
Oh yeah, Amy.
I-
We had a problem this a couple weeks ago. You were really upset someone was making fun of you.
yes,
Okay.
it's been the same way for a very
Because
long time.
You don't want to be weird.
And I don't want
That's
to be
her
a
thing.
band.
You think it means you're
people
left
think
out.
you're weird.
She doesn't
Then
wanna be
you're
weird.
left out, and they leave you. But that's not really what happened.
All right. So what
So
happened,
anyway,
Amy?
Oh, yeah.
I was mocking
so
you?
she was mocking me, and we were in the great room, and then
And
I
we were like, how old was I?
you were
Teenager, young teenager.
15,
15.
16.
You're
I was
like
like 11
10?
or 12. And I literally just started yelling at Christina. I was
Amy
like,
yells a lot when she's
you
mad.
cannot make fun of me! I was like, stop it!
Wow.
And I've never yelled at her
She was like,
really since then
She
or
shocked
before
herself.
then or ever. But it was kind of fun.
And
I
I was
don't
like,
confront
okay,
people
I
easily
won't-
or frequently.
I won't mock Amy as much anymore.
As much.
Yes.
And
Me.
she stopped doing it as much, and I can handle it now because it's
Because
funny.
do you not hear her literally mocking everyone?
Yes.
So it's
Yeah.
not personal.
And it's also funny because I can simultaneously take the most blunt things and nothing at all.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Okay.
true.
All
So
right, boys.
we have Danny and Lauren, same crush.
I'll just start
How
it.
do you even
Basically, here's what happened.
begin?
Danny and I had a best friend. We were
Yes.
both best friends with her, and she had an older brother.
Who was
Love of
so
my life.
cute.
His older brother is cute.
Now, let me
Hey,
just
Maggie.
say, Lauren was how old
12,
and I was how old?
And she was 10.
I was 10 and he was 15.
This
Yeah,
boy
so
was my age.
He was 3 years older than me and 5 years older than
You are not
Danny.
in this story.
So what's the fight about? Though?
Okay, so here's
Yeah,
the thing.
give us your fight, ladies.
It's more of a general,
Tiff?
like, this is the no, it was not a tiff. This is the
Yeah.
longest thing we've ever had.
Yeah.
Where, like,
This
from
was-
when we met her, which is when I was 9, to
Mhm.
when we were, like, what, 13, 14? I was 13, 14. I keep
Yeah, it
saying
was
we.
like 4 years.
When I was like 13, 14, it was probably 4 years. Then it was just a consistent thing of Lauren and I both having a crush on him and both trying to hang out with him, both trying to talk to him, both trying to see if he liked us. In reality, he only liked Lauren. He didn't
'Cause
like
you
me.
were a child.
Because I was a child, that would be weird if he liked me. But I wanted him to really bad. So there were a few instances that we can mention.
Lisa always just
Yeah.
gets so tender when Danny
I know.
talks. Lisa goes,
Basically,
so
I think
sad.
most of it was not really spoken
Oh,
to
yeah.
each other. It was in our journals where we would write, we would write all of our roasts to each
Yes.
other.
Oh,
Basically.
and we're getting to journals soon.
But
and we would know that the other one would read the journal. So
Oh
like
my
I would
we
read
knew we read each other's
I
journals.
would read her journal to see like if she'd been talking to him, messaging him on Facebook, and like what he said and stuff.
Oh
I
my
remember.
gosh.
Are you saying the same thing?
I think so. When I wrote in my journal that I like
so
asked
embarrassing.
him if he would consider us friends. Because
So
technically I was friends with the sister and not him. So I was like,
She's like, hey,
would you consider us friends?
Wait,
And
you
they
say this through a
talked-
message?
Yeah,
Yeah,
on
on
Facebook.
Facebook.
Interesting.
And they
Okay.
talked
Wait,
a
is
lot.
that why you and Alex deleted her Facebook?
No,
It
that's
doesn't
the
matter.
time.
Good.
And then he was like, yeah. And I was like, oh my gosh. So then I wrote it. I
He
was like,
said,
he
"Of
considers us
course."
friends. Yeah.
So then I read this in her
Wait,
journal.
Lauren, so you didn't think you were being friend zoned?
No.
she just
I
wanted to
wanted
know.
him
She
to
was
like
12
Guys,
or
it
whatever.
doesn't
be
matter.
equal.
So
I wanted to be equal.
Okay, I gotcha.
this is so awkward. So then I read it in her journal, and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to know. So then I did the same exact thing. I literally sent him.
Mine's probably like, why are
the
they
same
both
exact
asking?
message. I
don't
was like, hey, would you
wanna
consider
hear
us friends? And he said, sure, I guess.
Did you cry?
Yes, I cried. Of course I did.
And then,
But
so then I read that in
Uh-huh.
your journal. I was
I
like,
was
ha
like,
ha
Danny
ha.
is so weird. She wrote something about
And then
that.
I wrote, I was like,
I
oh my
can't
gosh,
believe
I
she said
can't believe
that.
she did that. That's so dumb or whatever.
Here's another instance.
I would be mortified if I read that about myself.
Yeah, it was
That's
really,
why I
it
said
was so
I'm not
awkward.
strong enough to be Lauren's younger sister, but Danny is.
I am.
Good for you.
So then another
Bless
instance.
your heart.
A couple years later, when we moved to Los Angeles, then they would visit us all the time, the family, like the brother and sister. So one
And
time,
we visited them too.
Yeah, but I remember one time then Lauren and him were on the swings together.
Of course.
I don't remember why, but I
They
remember
knocked
she
knees,
gave me
Christine.
this look, and she tells me that she didn't do this because she blocked it out of her memory. But she was sitting on the swing, and he was sitting on the other swing, and she looked at me, and she's like, She gave me this look, and it was like, see, I'm sitting next to him on the swing, and you're not. And then I got so mad, so I ran upstairs into our room that we shared. And then
messaged him on Facebook.
no, I ran upstairs, and I ripped all of the sheets off of her bed, and I threw them on the floor, and I was so angry. And things like that happened all the dang time. So we could go into a lot more
was just-
details about that, but
It was funny because we would never really say
never
anything
talked about it,
It was
ever.
always
we never talked about it.
in our journals and like reading
Whoa.
them.
And like looks. and, like,
honestly, I
vibes.
think that
Talking to Ellie about it.
even though I was rude about it, really, I knew that he wouldn't like you because you were so young. And I think I was trying to like discourage you more because I knew
Yes.
that it was just going to keep hurting your feelings.
Either way, we could say a lot of details about this story, but it was just the longest fight we ever had, and it went on for years.
It was
I feel like the
terrible.
viewers at home want to know. So then, how did it end? Whatever
It just-
happened?
we just both stopped liking him because
he never liked. He never like dated Lauren or anything.
No.
nothing ever happened.
See,
They
he
had
actually
this
dated other
ongoing
girls.
ongoing fight of liking the same boy is a saga. Maybe we can
we've
get into
had
it
that
more
multiple
times.
times.
Okay,
me too,
We gotta go to
though.
the next one, guys. Okay, so I have written. This is what I have written down in my notes. Catherine and Amy's power struggle, where Amy has a portable tower 100 feet above and barbed wire fence around her ears. That's a quote
was
from
her
Catherine.
description.
Okay.
Look, here's the thing. I get really aggressive when I feel attacked, which is weird because you wouldn't think of that, but I go into fight or
Oh, wait,
flight.
but
No,
it's
this
weird
is not about that. Isn't this about thinking
No,
that she's a
listen,
right?
Amy doesn't even. This is not even when you feel attacked. This is when
Yeah.
I state an opinion that you don't agree with.
No,
Yeah.
and I feel attacked.
And Amy gets on a tower.
I feel
Like
attacked.
I'll say like, oh, I personally like think this thing, and then Amy will be like,
My
that's
very own
wrong.
and
and
then
I
I'll
don't
climb
agree.
the tower.
And then Amy suddenly rises up 100 feet above me, and she's looking down on me. And then I try to talk to her, and I'm like, no, but Amy, blah blah blah. And then these barbed wire things appear around both
It's
ears.
true.
She can't hear, and I get so
So then
sorry. I
she
get so mad because I'm like, you won't even listen to what I'm
she
saying.
rises up on her tower
And
too.
I rise up on my tower, and then we start jousting.
This is a great visual.
Stabbing.
Jousting.
It's wild.
Amazing.
And
It's
and
only
we do the thing where we think if we just talk louder,
Yes!
the person will hear us. And it never. And I eventually just give up. And I always just walk. I jump off the tower and I say, I'm not doing this anymore.
And then I
And
feel bad.
Because I'm just over it. I'm like, you're not even listening.
Wow.
It's just because I
Okay.
feel attacked.
So we got some childhood stories now. We went through the fight. Okay, here we have Christina, Kath, and Lisa in the teen years stalking boys. Okay, ready? So
Right,
listen.
I'm starting with a disclaimer. I never wanted to be present.
And that's why
I
it's
just wanted to
funny.
have a good time. I didn't want to stalk people's homes.
And that's why we left you out, because we knew you weren't
Yes.
as weird as
I
us.
didn't want to do it.
Okay, Lisa and I love to like just drive around all the ripping time, and then Kath would come with us most of the time.
Yeah, because we go to like town center and get candy. Like we do fun things,
And then we
we
drive-
do annoying
Drive
things.
through neighborhoods and buy houses of boys that we liked. Another younger
Just drive by
brother
their
of
house. I was like,
brothers.
why? What do you
I
expect to
have
see
a
them taking out
real-
their trash?
So one time we drove by this one boy's house.
Oh,
and by the way, he lived in a gated.
was at
Wait,
night.
listen,
Did we
guys.
doorbell
them? He no.
Wait, I thought we did.
Then
No,
what
we
did she
not.
say out the
Yes.
window? Because listen, we had to get in the gate, so we had to call his house, and his mom or him answered. We're like,
You called his house?
yes, to get in. We'd be like, hey, is this Susie? Or we say some fake name or whatever, and he'd be like, oh, can you open the gate? Because people will open the gate for you anyway, because like, oh, they're going to our neighbor's house. So they open the gate for us, and we're like, oh my gosh, we just talked to him or his mom. Then we drive by. I don't even remember how we figured out where he lived.
Wait,
and
that
then
is so creepy.
Because we knew someone
No.
who knew.
Okay.
We knew someone. I'm not
Oh,
gonna say
right,
who
right.
told us.
Wait,
when.
we
You didn't know him?
no. We went to school
We
with these
did
two
know him, but not
brothers.
really.
Christina was in class with
I
one
knew
of
his
them.
brother.
She knew him.
We chatted.
So it was like, you know, you have a crush on someone that you kind of know, but you don't actually know them, you know their brother. So we drove by their house, and it's nighttime, and we have like the windows down and the lights off. Like, if anyone's looking out the window, we're dead. We're red-handed. Like, it's so obvious. We're driving by 3
Super
miles
slow.
an hour,
Yeah.
and the windows down. I think we drove by a few
gosh.
times.
I was in the passenger
I think
seat.
we doorbell ditched him.
I don't
because
think
that's
so.
why he
we
was
were
outside.
checking. We were checking to see if
We
he.
Yes.
doorbell ditched him.
No, I think we honked the horn. I think we honked the
Oh,
horn.
did we honk the horn?
We did not doorbell ditch
Okay,
them. We would
whatever.
never
We did
doorbell ditch them.
I think we
don't
did.
think
We
we
did something like that. We drove
Something.
by.
Something to get the
Either way.
detention, and then we drove by, and I remember we'd gone by a few times, and then finally we drove by one last time just to
creepy.
check, and Catherine, right?
Yes.
The windows open, and Catherine goes, where is he? You know, like a hissing whisper that's not quiet at all?
They
We're so.
No, she
mad.
didn't yell.
with
She
the
was like,
window
"Where is
completely
he?"
open, and he's
And
standing.
it's
We look, and he's standing there like this,
like, who's messing with me? And you're
looking
like,
at us drive by. We're like,
Every ounce of color drained.
because I was like, okay, he's gonna know our car. We
And
go to the
just-
same school. We're in the
oh
same
my
parking
gosh.
lot.
just visualize that the slow car suddenly speeds
creepy.
away.
With no lights
And it's
on.
a creepy van.
It's a
too.
little
Yeah.
white minivan.
No lights on.
So that was one of our absolute
Where
best
is he?
stalking experiences
I
where we
mean,
really killed it.
Looking back, if you were a teenage boy, you'd probably be flattered that there's
I know.
girls.
No, you'd be like,
It's
what the heck
creepy.
is
But
going
it also
on?
is creepy. It's creepy. Let's just,
Ugh.
yeah, it's
Depends
creepy.
on who it
Oh,
is.
it was weird.
I
Please
hated
don't do
it.
that.
Don't
Please
do it.
do
Don't do
not
that. Do not
do
take
that.
ideas.
Do not do that. Okay.
Horrifying.
What about Amy reading Lisa's journal?
Okay, this is something that I didn't know was happening. I always thought my journals were really private. I don't know why. I just thought that no one would
Oh,
want
I
to
read your journal
them.
a few times.
Oh, I read it.
Every single
very
one of us.
disturbing.
I read it like a
I
novel.
felt like I was reading.
Me too.
Yeah, because it gets
I
so
did.
like dark.
Oh, guys,
and
whose
deep.
journal did you not read? Mine, because I didn't keep a journal. If you
Yeah.
try to read it,
I
you're like,
tried.
You
I
can't
tried
read,
to
like,
read Christina's,
handwriting,
but
because
you
you wrote
can't
so
read handwriting.
fast.
You can't read Christina's
feel like
And
handwriting.
Christina would
so
skip every
boring.
third word or something. It was like a code.
I'm just like,
She'd be like,
"Ugh."
blah, 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 blah.
No, I was
Can't
thinking
read
so
it.
fast I couldn't write it.
I
so
tried
just
to read your
read
journal,
Tell
but I
me,
couldn't.
what did you find when you read my journal?
I ain't telling you.
I don't know
I ain't
this.
Here's
saying
the
it.
thing.
I found many things.
This was
I
all
didn't
of
wanna
like
know.
12, 13, 14 years ago, so I don't remember actual excerpts from your
Wait,
journal.
so what do you?
I
what's the
remember.
story?
Okay, Lisa and I sharing a room with Lisa when we were younger. We had a bunk bed. She was on the bottom bunk.
Traumatic.
She made the ladder around the back of the bed because she went in the front. She was aggressive, and
I would like to say I'm really impressed with my strength that I was able to flip the whole bunk bed around.
you literally did that, and you were like, "Don't climb on my nightstand and get in your bed." I did it every day, twice a day, 3
That
times
was
a day.
Amy's way of
Anyway.
rebelling.
She, under our bed, which you know shared property, she had a basket where she kept her journal.
I remember that.
And I was always mad because I was left out of their
Wait,
stalking
you say
exploits.
it's shared property because it's under your
not.
bed. That gives you the right to read her journal.
No, it gives me right to look under my bed. Doesn't even have to read her journal.
That doesn't mean you have to open it and read
Look,
it.
here's the thing. They would always leave me out, and I was desperate to join them, and I would sit on Christina's bed and watch Legally Blonde all the time.
Aw, well,
So-
I
Her
wasn't there.
journal?
Okay, wait.
No, listen,
journal? I
after
would
I
say-
was done watching Legally Blonde, I would go into my room and I'd be like, I wonder what they're doing. I wonder what's going on. So
you
then
would
I
read
would
it.
read
You read their
Lisa's journal
journal.
to see what was going on in their lives.
Okay, this isn't actually that weird because this was before I got really like into my emotions
Yeah.
and stuff. So it was just like we turned left at the stop sign, then we drove
what'd
for
you-
a few more, probably 3 minutes.
What'd you learn, Amy?
I turned right, I turned
I don't
left,
remember.
circled around frozen yogurt shop. We almost lost him, but he was still following us. Like weird, like extreme.
Okay.
Extreme
It was
Anyone
like reading
else?
a book. And
Anyone
yeah.
else have an interesting journal story? I read Kath's very frequently until I realized
She
it was
loves
never
to say
it was never getting interesting. It was so boring. She's like, today I ate oatmeal for breakfast. Then I hung out with my
Oh,
friend.
Catherine's journal is so boring.
And then I went to the store.
Because I didn't
and
even
then
know
I
what my
came home.
feelings were.
I was like, this is the most boring thing
Hey,
I've ever read.
I like to say it got real juicy when I was 17 and I started hanging out with you know who.
And
It
I
wasn't even
grounded
juicy.
you for
I read
that.
it then too, and you were just like,
I
"Oh,
was
we
like,
went to the
I
store."
ended up with
he
him.
texted me. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, she said hi.
I was like, I am obsessed with them.
yeah, it was boring.
Okay. anyone
So
else?
wait, did
Oh,
we
we
talk
have an
about when we
iconic
read our
one.
journals?
The iconic moment
Yeah.
Oh
when
yeah,
This is
so
amazing.
when
yeah, let's just say it. So
Yeah.
Lauren and I also shared a bunk bed. We also shared our side of the room.
Shared journals.
So
you know we read each
we read each other's journals
already.
all the time. We already talked about that. So one time, who started it? Who said you read it?
I don't
I
know.
think I did. I'm just gonna say it was me for the
Okay.
story's sake. So I read Lauren's journal one day, And in her journal, she's like, oh my gosh, I was reading Danny's journal. And she's like, blah, blah. And I was like, sorry, at the table. I was like, oh my gosh, this will not stand. So I go up to Lauren.
No, wait. Then I said something where I was like, you read my journal.
Yes. And then I said, how do you know that I read your journal? And then you said,
Oh, yeah. Because I read it in your journal. I think we flipped that.
whatever.
You guys
We
said-
both had journal entries that said, I just read Lauren's journal, I just read Danny's journal, and she did this. Yeah.
How do you know that? I love
Why
that.
did you start hiding it in a new spot?
Because it wasn't that dramatic. I think we wanted to.
TBH, we
wow.
loved the
It
drama.
was their weird like telephone communication.
Oh my gosh.
You weirdos. Okay, last story. We teased this in episode 1. We have to go through this. Okay, so I was with Lauren and Danny. We were at the sports
I
club.
was very young.
and I was like,
The local pool.
Does everyone know what a sports club is?
Just
like,
the local
yeah.
pool.
Just like a gym.
we're at the local pool.
Whatever.
Okay? We went there. We got in the pool. Okay? I was like, hee hee, flipping my hair. And then there was this lifeguard there that I don't
had
know
a crush
why I was
on.
blind. I was blind when I was
Nah.
17. So I thought this boy was cute. He was not. And I was like, oh my gosh, this lifeguard. Oh my gosh. So then we were hanging out, and then he kept like looking over me. I was
Kept
like,
looking.
oh my gosh. One of you was like, probably Lauren was like, he looked at you, and I was like,
Oh, yeah,
oh my
definitely
gosh.
me.
Okay, count. So then
So,
we positioned
both of
ourselves so
us.
Lauren could see him,
And
but
I
then
could too.
I was like, oh yeah, I was looking at you guys, and you guys were looking at him.
Yes.
So I was like, tee-hee, tee-hee, and then
We were doing like tricks in the pool. I remember we were like flipping and
oh
like
yeah,
diving.
we always did kind of active.
That's
well,
like a
me,
boy move.
I was
to
did
do a
active
flip.
stuff.
But
in
no,
my
but,
life.
No, but we were like doing all this stuff.
We were doing
together.
random stuff. That's how we
Getting
noticed
his
he was looking at
attention.
us.
Like every man
So
wants an
then-
acrobat.
It was true. It was true.
Yeah, it
okay,
was
so
true.
then
We counted every single
I was like,
time.
count, and then what was it?
It was like 70
72
something.
or
72,
something.
yeah, that was
Yeah.
my number too.
We
He
did
looked
end
at
up.
her.
We did end up dating before I dumped him
Wait,
as he deserved.
and he
Wow.
said later when you're hanging out, he was like, oh yeah, you guys were counting how many times
like,
I
"I
looked at
noticed
you.
Wait, I want to add to the story. They went on a date, and Lisa and I were in the same like town center area, and they walked by us, and he was so awkward that
No,
Lisa
no,
and
we
I
wanted to walk by and look, and then
Okay, whatever.
we saw
we
them.
crossed paths. Lisa and I both felt so awkward because
like,
of his awkward energy that we ran away and we screamed.
You
And,
screamed.
And then he looked at me, and I was like, "They're weird." I don't know.
oh, so awkward.
For me, I also felt like it was so awkward seeing Christina on a date.
That
As
too.
a kid, I was like, dates? You're not supposed to do that.
Like,
Oh,
dates
and
are
I was like,
illegal.
yeah, I was like, she's on a
Guys,
date.
our mom was like, "Don't date anyone until you're 25."
Till you're married.
Literally,
It was-
she
I was
literally says that.
I'm
being
25
illegal.
now.
Even when I started dating Max, she's like, "Just
Yep.
be friends."
And
Like,
that's
I am
what happened.
25. You said I could take this age.
You said I could date.
Anyway, that's what happened. I'll roast him any chance I get, even though he'll never see this. Okay, so let's do some
Never
times
know.
at each other's backs. We have me telling Lauren she could rap. Tell that.
Oh yeah, I just, you know, if you've seen our older videos, you see me rapping, and I never listened to rap music, never considered myself a rapper, but one day we're doing a song that had a rap in it, she was like, Lauren, you should do the rap, I bet you could do it. I was like, okay, so the only reason that I believe I can rap is because she told me
Christina.
that I could.
Wow.
The wind
Okay,
beneath
I
her
have a
wings.
story that's on this list. This is a very disturbing / good story. Disturbing for me.
Oh God.
So, one day, this is us having each other's backs. One day, we went to the studio, okay? And then we're driving home from the studio. It's me, Christina, and Lisa all in the car, right? Then we're driving home, and suddenly Lisa pulls into a parking lot. And I'm like, why are they pulling to a parking lot? Like, where
And
are
like
we going?
for a building that's not done being built.
Yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Mike,
It was like the parking lot of a bank. I was like, why are we at the bank? It's closed or whatever. And then they park the car and they turn around and they're like, Danny?
She's in the back seat of
I'm
my
in the
car,
back seat.
which looks like a mafia car.
Whatever. They turn around. They're like, Danny, we know about everything. And I was like, what do you mean? So I'm not going to go into detail about it. But the story is that my friend told them about some things I was doing that I shouldn't have been doing. So they were trying to like protect me and like make my life better and like get me
Because I was
to
so
get
scared.
on the right track.
I was like, Danny can't be doing this. This is not Danny.
Yeah,
She
whatever.
will be
We don't have to go
better.
into details, Lisa.
No,
so
not
the
details.
point is, they ambushed me and they got me in a
An
car.
intervention?
Yeah, by myself with them. They're like, oh, Danny, come home with us. And then they pulled into a parking lot like it was a freaking kidnapping or something. And it was so scary, but I had good intentions. But it was like really scary.
And we
for
were
me.
like yelling.
yeah, you guys were very
swearing.
intense. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
very intense. But it was a good thing. He was.
Hey, you guys said that to me too.
What about?
You
Not
yelled
like
at me when
that.
I was dating.
No, but not like that.
And you were like, you
didn't
shouldn't be
kidnap
talking
me.
to
This
him.
was like top level.
Top
CIA.
level. What about
What
Amy's
else?
care package for Danny after a breakup?
Oh, that was so
here's what
cute.
happens. I like to be there for people and give them gifts when they're sad.
Wow.
So, Danny went through a break. Well, she
A
annulled
quote
that
breakup.
relationship.
I was in a relationship last time we did the podcast, but it only lasted 2 weeks, and I canceled it, and it didn't exist.
She
So-
annulled it. She
I
got
went through a
annulment.
quote breakup, but I wasn't in a relationship.
Okay.
She
It
went
never
through a
happened.
breakup, so I got her. I was like, "Ooh, Danny's probably really sad." So then I got her a package of stuff. So I got her like a
Nice.
journal, black nail polish, of course,
'Cause I'm emo.
pens, like bubble bath and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then one time Lauren was texting a group of how she was sad. So then I got her balloons and
Ice cream.
flowers and ice cream.
That's so nice.
Oh, what a pal.
Someone loves
What a
me in this
sweetie.
world.
I'm going to text our group today. I'm sad.
One last quick story before we move on. I found this on my Snapchat. One time, Christina posted on her Snapchat. She's like, "Man, I really want chicken tenders, but I'm sick."
Oh!
So then
this is a good one.
I saw the post, and then I
And you
went
knew
to the
what you had to
grocery
do.
store or something.
Aw.
Went to the grocery store. I bought chicken tenders. I drove to Christina's house. I cooked them, and then I came into her room with
I was
cooked
so
chicken
happy.
tenders with barbecue sauce and ketchup because I know that you like them mixed together.
Aw,
her.
That's
Wow,
so
that's
nice.
I was
That's
so
nice.
happy.
No
That
one
was
can
such a
outdo
great
Danny.
mem.
Thanks.
In her thoughtfulness.
Oh yeah, it's great though because one time I cleaned Danny's whole room
Yeah,
and
my
her whole
bathroom.
car and her bathroom, which was
A
really
nightmare.
hard,
Thanks.
just to do like a nice deed. So
It's
we
really
got each
nice.
other's backs. Okay,
Hey, I cleaned Christina's room like a couple months ago.
for my
That's true.
birthday present or
I remember
something.
that.
Yeah.
It was,
It was
a
your
present.
birthday.
Yes,
It's
it
really
was pretty
nice.
lit.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna talk about our current relationship now, and then we're going on to Lauren's take. So
All right.
our current relationship, where we're at now with the sisterhood. So I'm Christina, and I'm the dad. That's my role. That's it.
That really is her role.
I'm the
Yeah.
dad.
Okay.
That's all
Tells
I'm
us
gonna
what to
say.
do.
You
Keeps
know
us
what
in
a father
line.
does.
Okay.
You know what a father does.
I'm Kath, and according to this list, I'm the mom/grandma, but I really think I'm the grandma, honestly.
Yeah.
And I'm also the class clown at times, but I'd
No.
like to say only when I'm sick or tired, usually. I just get in a weird mood.
But
and I
we were
start
saying
going off.
Lisa's the real class.
Lisa's the class clown. Everyone has a class clown inside them, but for the sake of clarity, I am the
Yeah,
actual class
she is.
clown
But you're also
in the group.
That is
the
so
crazy
accurate.
one.
I don't
Because-
I don't
You're
understand
crazy
that.
aunt.
Yes,
you're
you
wild
are.
and wacky.
You say
You totally
weird
are.
stuff,
Yeah.
and then you give advice like an aunt would.
Yeah.
It's so
I
funny.
feel like your crazy aunt doesn't give you advice.
No, she
Alright.
does.
She
Unless it's
definitely
like,
does.
unless
Been
it's like
through it.
terrible.
She's still an
She's
No,
aunt.
she does. She's been through it and she knows.
All right, Amy, what are you?
Amy, what
I don't remember, but it's like the most
Amy.
It
It's
says
the
it right
most
here.
accurate depiction I've ever heard. Oh, the supportive law enforcement.
Slash the
Slash
Warner.
Warner, which what it means is that I'm
Oh my
very
gosh.
supportive and I tell people when they're doing things wrong,
Illegally.
when they're breaking laws, and when
Yeah.
they need help, and I'm like, stop.
I'll be like, I think I'm gonna try out this new skill, and he'll be like, you could go to jail.
I grounded her when she
Yes.
was younger.
All right, Laura.
Oh. Okay. It says I'm the peacekeeper, sees everyone's point of view, and stays on good terms with everyone. That's pretty much
That's
true.
pretty much it. She's pretty
Like,
stable.
if people are having a problem, like, well, don't you see this perspective? I'm
Yeah.
really good at that. So,
You always show people the other side.
yeah.
I'm just the classic baby because I'm the youngest, so I get all the attention. No, that's not it. But I'm just the classic younger sister and also the planner / GPS.
Oh, yeah.
Because for some reason my sisters don't know how to use a map. So
It's hard.
I
It's so
always
hard.
navigate.
Sister.
Sorry,
You're
most
like good at event planning.
whatever. I'm good at planning and I'm good at navigating. I don't know why.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, Danny's the one in road trips when we're like, "Hey, Danny, can you find a stop?"
I don't know why, but
Tell-
another thing my
Wait,
sisters
I
I know I
will
got it.
tell.
Another thing my sisters don't know how to do is go
Not
on.
for me.
Listen,
I do this all
I
you're
don't
on
know how to
a,
do this.
guys, you're on a road trip. You're going for 100 miles on one freeway. They don't know how to look down on the freeway and find an exit where there's a gas station or a food or
Starbucks.
Wendy's or whatever.
I don't know why it's so
don't
hard,
know.
but it is.
So
I don't do that.
One time, I get a call from Amy, who's driving home from Arkansas. I'm not with her. I'm home, and she's like, "Hey, we're driving home, and I need you to find us a Wendy's to stop at because I don't know where to go." So she sends me her location, and within minutes, I send her one because it's easy.
It was
Amazing.
true.
All I'm
Just one of my
saying
many
is
skills.
I would have been able to do that if I wasn't driving in
Okay.
that
Yeah.
moment. I
I-
would have done
Good, I'm proud
I'm
of you.
really bad at
Wait,
that.
so Amy's not driving and she gets
She's not even driving.
no, I was tried
Amy.
to do it and I couldn't do it.
I can't do that either.
Exactly.
I don't know why.
You should look up the route.
No, I know. You look on the route. I'm like,
You
if I
look on the
cancel the
route.
GPS, my car will explode.
Well, I'm just talented.
Okay.
My
The other
role is
things
the
we
talented one.
We wanted to tell you about our current relationship is that for hanging out, like I will do movie nights or we'll do like get-togethers at different people's houses. So we have Christina
yeah.
movie nights and then like Lauren.
Lauren started doing
you
that
do like
too.
self-care nights too.
Yeah.
And,
I
like,
started
hangouts.
heading up. I started heading up that we do a Sunday night dinner together.
And we
Oh,
we
yeah.
do we have hours long conversations all the time about
Mainly
like
about,
name
like,
some topics.
Personality types.
Enneagram,
Psychology.
The
in
meaning
general.
of life.
relationships,
what's going
friendships,
on
Like
in
feelings.
life.
politics,
of us.
Understanding people.
Everything.
Very,
Various
very deep.
dramas that are occurring.
socioeconomic
Yeah, we'll
issues.
show deep talks.
And something that's funny is that we all go to church together at the same time frequently. Not necessarily every time, but
Most of the
oftentimes. We all go to church at the same time, but
We don't sit
we
together.
don't sit anywhere
different
near each other.
places.
So like the layout of the church, it's like boom, 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 boom,
It's
boom.
like a
Yeah.
We're like everywhere.
Octagon.
It's
Because
so weird.
since I was
Half
little, like
octagon.
I remember as like a 10-year-old being very annoyed, specifically at Christina, because in the middle of mass, it's not like you're not. Well, you're kind of not paying attention, but it's not like you hated it and didn't want to pay attention. But you'd all just be like, "Oh my gosh, look at Catherine," or you're like, "Hey," and you're like, "Want to make a joke? Want to talk? I want to."
Oh,
Blah,
I
blah,
do
blah.
like to make
the
commentary.
whole time, and
Yeah,
I was like,
Amy always talks in mass. I'm like,
I was such a serious kid. I was like, this is a sin. I was like, I want to focus. You are not supposed to talk. And I was like, why does she not get that? But I would never tell you. I would just purposely
I
sit
thought that
away.
too. I was
guys,
like,
I like to
I
clarify
can't break my
that.
focus.
But you kept doing it. So
I
then-
wouldn't go to the bathroom because I thought it was a sin. I was
And-
like,
Yeah.
I
Oh my
can't
God.
I like
disrespect
to
God and
clarify,
go to the
wait,
bathroom.
Any of our fans who are not Catholic, we don't believe it's a sin.
No,
to
just
not
when I
pay
was little.
attention
You're
or go
saying
to the
us as
bathroom.
kids
But
Just
now that I'm older, it's just that I like to focus. And like, I don't even like sitting with like one other person usually. Like, I will. But I really like to sit alone and just.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we all
Yeah,
sit
me
different
too.
places. is what I
Except
was
the
saying.
social ones sit together, so it's me, Mom, usually Alex and Lauren.
Yeah.
We get.
I'll sit with
sometimes
Mom
Lauren, We get
sometimes.
like a quad going.
I don't sit next to anybody because I talk the
Okay.
whole time.
All right, guys, let's go to Sister Spotlight. And today's sister is Lauren with Lauren's Take.
Lord,
All right, let's go. We got some questions. We're going to knock this out.
I
All
love
right,
Lauren's
first
take.
up, this is from M. How do you have sanity in a house of 13?
Well, I don't live in a house of 13 anymore. I did, and I did not have sanity, so I cannot answer that.
Oh, wow.
Gotcha.
Okay. This is from Miel. I don't know how to say that, but I know that Miel means honey in another language. What is Lauren's favorite vegetable?
Vegetable? Maybe like a potato.
Ooh.
I love
are good.
potatoes. Okay,
Love
what
a
does
potat.
Lauren Cimorelli, oh, that's because it's your Twitter, they tagged you, sorry. Think of Frankie, Christina's dog, and has she met him yet?
I have not met this dog. Christina is trying to groom him first so that when I meet him, then I'll
doesn't
have a
jump
good
on you.
impression or something.
For some reason, I just pictured Christina putting like a bow tie on him, like grooming him, like with like his hygiene to impress Lauren. Okay. Next one's from Leah. Do you sometimes feel left out in groups? If yes, how do you deal with it?
Yes. But then I just decide that I'm not. I'm like, okay.
Love that.
Like sometimes, well, okay.
Love that.
Sometimes I feel like that if I'm not saying anything, but then I just ask myself, okay, am I not saying anything because I don't want to, or am I not saying anything because I'm scared to? And if it's because I'm scared, then I just force myself to speak up. And if it's because I don't want to, then it's like, oh,
It's
okay,
your
that's
choice.
fine. I'm not left out. I just don't want to talk.
That's good.
All right, next up's from Laura. She says, what do you think your biggest growth has been in the last year?
She's like the one in my head.
Oh, I know what mine was. It was right
My biggest growth in the last year? Oh, probably being more open with my feelings and expressing to people how I feel. Because that was really hard for me most of my life.
Good one. All right, last one's from Ab. Guess it's Abby, maybe? Abison? Just kidding. Okay. What's her favorite roast she's ever done?
I don't know. I roast people all the time.
Oh, come on, Laura. Just give us
there.
one.
Dang, I wish I could think of one.
Can you
That's
think of a
hard to
good roast?
remember.
I don't remember because it's so often.
Lauren has an ongoing roast of just telling the truth. In like
Yeah.
a very truthful way.
I wish I could
I
remember.
want to be like,
some.
you smell. Just kidding. She wouldn't do it.
I would say that.
Ah, she'd be like,
would
you
say
need
that.
deodorant.
Yeah. It's
Oh,
just
well.
helpful.
It's not really a roast, it's just honesty.
I guess it's a mystery.
Sorry, guys.
Sorry, guys.
All right, well, thank you guys. This is Patreon we're talking to, so thank you guys
Thanks,
so much
Patron.
for supporting us. This is so incredible that you guys are here with us on this incredible platform. I'm glad you guys get to see all the stuff that we put on here because I freaking love this content. So thank you guys for supporting us. It means so much to us that you think we are worth supporting. That's really incredible. So again, thank you, Patreon. You guys are awesome. We love you. And I'm glad that you guys get to see these every other elusive episodes. I'm glad it's you guys. You guys are awesome. So we'll see you. We'll see you next. Well, we won't see you on YouTube because you can watch these here early. Ooh. Because
See
you
you
get
on
every
Patreon.
episode early, which I didn't say to everyone on YouTube. So I should tell them that.
Hey guys, remember this? Girl, 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 girl,
Yes.
girl, 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 girl. You're not doing it right. I did
To me, it sounds like you're saying girl, girl, girl.
That's what I am saying.
I know.
You can just do it with your mouth.
But your hand makes it even higher. Okay, I'm
Yeah,
done with
this
that.
one's better.
I can't do that.
Everyone can do that. Okay,
This one's
ready?
even better.
Just
Shut
giving
up.
you guys a
Let's
little
say
Patreon
goodbye.
exclusive.
Yeah, this is for you guys
Weird talents.
only. Thank you guys so much for supporting us. And we'll see you a week earlier than everyone else for episode 3. Bye. Thank you. See you guys.
Hasta la vista.
And now it's time to feast before I become a beast.
Me tengo que
jeez.
ir.
You've been listening to the Cimorelli podcast. Follow Cimorelli on Spotify and subscribe on YouTube. You can also find Cimorelli on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat.